to establish the correct manner of what do we call it, an instrument.
Right,
And,
an accusatory instrument.
So we have 4 appearance tickets out
On the calendar.
on the calendar, and we're July, what's the date?
11. What I had to work on with the attorney was this document right here. So with this being entered into court now to Wendy yesterday, these 4 people are gonna be notified now, because I couldn't take the chance in writing this myself, it being incorrect and the judge dismissing it. The hours of work and the inspections that have been done would be a moot point then. When this goes in front of the judge and it's accepted and there'll be fines imposed, or whatever the judge imposes at that point, we have others that we've already sent ordered of remedies, where they're given 30 days, then we can give them an appearance ticket, which I have right here, which you could see, that went to, we're waiting for a date with the attorney.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm not a lawyer, but I
Right.
do know that I've owned properties in 2 other cities. I've owned properties in Highland, New York, and I got a letter in the mail which said, if you don't cut your grass by X date, we're gonna fine you $50. It just said that. I've owned properties in the city of New York where it said, if you don't repair your sidewalk by X date, the city is gonna come and repair your sidewalk, and you're gonna be charged. There was nothing from a judge. It came from the city. You mean to tell me we can't tell people that if they don't remove the cars that are for sale or the junk cars, that the fine is gonna be $50?
The process is that if I see a violation or someone reports a violation to me, I serve a letter of violation. They have 30 days to fix that. If they don't, then I send an order to remedy. They have 30 days to remedy. Then after that time, I can issue an appearance ticket. It goes to the court. I
You
cannot
should
levy a
know they
fine.
need personal service, meaning Howie or myself must personally serve them.
Or a process server.
Or you can do it through the police department.
Right.
Well,
Or a process server. You pay for,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
charge the
Done it.
people,
Done it.
and you charge the
Yeah,
people.
I don't think there's
the
any
fee.
authority on the police department who's willing to do that anymore.
Well, they have no choice. They might not want to do
Their
it.
I
job.
don't understand why I got letters from other municipalities telling me what the fine is in
We have
advance,
been sending out letters since the first
with
weeks.
fines in them.
I can't find them. Alan, show me where in the documentation, in the code book, where I have the authority
I
to
don't
fine
know.
people.
What do we need? We need, to pass a bill in the town to say that you can fine people?
No, he can't find them.
Why not? Why if he sees a violation, can't we establish how much that violation is if they don't,
No.
a junk car?
It's up to the judge. It's up to the judge.
I'm just telling you what I've had in other towns, that I've had violations directly in a letter.
yes, we have, the letter that I was given when I started here, that
Yeah.
was used with Warren Tuck, that got sent out to people, it says at the bottom, notice, full compliance with this order of remedy is required by the date, which is 30 days after the order. If the person or entity served with this order fails to comply in full with this order of remedy within the 30-day period, that person or entity will be subject to a fine of not more than $1,000 per day of violation or imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or both. Who created this document? I don't know. It was given to me to be used, and that's what I've been using. So yes, it does say it in there. Does the law, and I will ask the lawyer because I'm working with him, I've had
Well,
to.
maybe the town attorney can tell us.
That letter was adopted with our ordinance.
Okay,
They were both adopted at the same time. There were 2 junkyards in the entire town of Shandaken. Legal junkyard has to renew its license every year. Both of these junkyards are no longer in existence. One was up in Big Indian, John Finley, and the other one was Clarence Curtis. And every year, I went to them and we made sure they renewed their license. And they were only permitted to have a certain amount of vehicles according to the size of the property. And we asked them to take it away, and we gave them a letter, and they never made it to court. We got it remedied before it got to court. But
Well, Warren Tuck sent Chuck a letter of violation. I sent him an order of remedy,
Right?
and now he's due for an appearance ticket.
Which we're.
That's right.
Right.
That's the procedure.
We just on Monday of this week established this letter from the lawyer establishing the proper process. We've been working on this since April.
The court kind of said, you need to come and we'll give you, bring me the appearance ticket. She emailed it to me, give it to her, she'll give me the date. I did that. I come back to her, she says, oh no, you need this now, an accusatory instrument. I start creating a legal document. Midway through, it's like, I'm doing all of this, and if it's wrong, we just wasted our time. It took the attorney quite a
6
bit
weeks.
of, right, harassing and calling. I went through 3 attorneys till finally one. Court was supposed to be yesterday, Tuesday. I got the documents Monday afternoon. So
Why wouldn't the court have that as a form?
that's what I said. That's,
It's
I,
you.
I asked the same
No other
question.
court officer, other than I think Alpha Sender, according to what my conversation with Rob was, has issued an appearance ticket. We have not found any appearance tickets.
Lots of
on any of
letters,
these places,
and
the junkyard.
it's like the court is, every time I give them something, it's like, oh, you have to do this, and I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that from the very beginning? And we would have done that, you know?
It sounds like you've done some work here to create a system that needs to be in place for some time. Howie's got the appropriate accreditation. Is this board the board to which these reports should be coming to?
No.
No.
Who should have it be reporting his progress on this sort of thing?
To the town.
Town
Town board.
Because they make the laws.
Is that a standing agenda item in the town board when they meet, for you to give a report?
It is.
Yeah,
You're in a
Yes.
difficult position here
Yeah.
because you don't have the paperwork that was there in the past and, you know, so you're
Yeah,
trying to.
and I've missed
recreate-
probably 4 or 5 of the last town board meetings because I've been in code
Yeah,
classes.
sure.
But now that's over with.
John would like to say something.
Oh, sure.
I asked the town board 3 questions. Number 1, does the code enforcement officer have the tools he needs? Well, from this, it sounds like maybe not. The second question is, does he have the authority to use those tools? Sounds like he does. The third question is, does he have the support of his boss to use those tools? Well, we don't know who his boss is because everybody's doing this. Planning board shouldn't be his, who signs your checks? That's your boss,
Ultimately, my boss is the New York State Department of State.
okay? But in this town, who hires you, gives you raises?
Rob.
Who do you, here you go. That's your boss then. It's Rob's responsibility to give you the support you need to enforce the laws. If he doesn't give it to you, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, well, in fairness to Rob, he has not dictated any of the courses that I've taken. He's given me free hand. Sometimes I.
But has he also said, Jesus, I come by Chuck's gas station every day. It's a wreck. There's more and more cars. Has he ever said that once? Chuck is my fire chief. I love Chuck to death, but we all know he's got a problem. And in order to solve that problem, it can't be an overwhelming, you gotta clean it up. There has to be a plan. Like in any endeavor, if you don't have a plan and a series of events that have to happen, it's too overwhelming to even tackle. So, as Marty said, if you sit down with Chuck and Rob, I'd be more than happy to help because I've done these plans before, and say, this is how we're gonna approach this. And it can't be a one-time thing. It has to be an ongoing, after we get this cleaned up, you can't have more than 5 cars in your station, otherwise you're violating. It can't be a short-term thing, it has to be an ongoing. The same thing with all the other, tent city, the houses with the mattresses in front of the
No.
house. It's all got, you can't say, we're gonna do it once and then let it go. It has to be a continual thing. And again, I have 3 questions. It sounds like you don't have the tools yet. How do we get you the tools? How does the town get you the tools.
Well, community support is a great thing. We really appreciate that people came out tonight
Yeah.
to talk about this, because I felt like the lone wolf.
Well, you're
But
not.
Rob did say to me, some time ago, I asked him the question, what are we gonna do about Chuck? And he said, Howie, you do whatever you think is right, and if you get that out of here, the whole town will appreciate it.
That's for sure.
And the same thing about the tent city.
I
I
mean,
had him in my office, he claims, he told me he went to the Supreme Court.
I gotta tell you, there's more than one way to skin a cat. It's illegal to park on a state right of way. So all you gotta do is position the police there, and any car that stops, give them a ticket, or tell them to move along. And after a few weeks with the guy with no business, he's gonna say, what am I doing this for? And tell him that we're working on other things to close you down, but in the meantime, you're not selling a damn thing. You know, there's plenty of ways to skin a cat, we all know that.
Mhm.
But you have to have the will, and you have to have the authorization to do that.
Yeah, I don't have the authority to tell the cops what to do.
You don't, Rob does.
Yes.
May I say something? Howie's doing a wonderful job, and he's in a very difficult position.
Yes, he is.
We all commend what you're doing, Howie. To answer your question, is he has two bosses. He has the Department of State because he's a building inspector. He has the town supervisor because he works for the town of Shandaken as a zoning enforcement officer. His job here is to implement this code. I was in that job. I know what it can be, and it can be very difficult. I used to give remedy letters. I was told by the attorney at that time never to go there by myself and issue it. Give it to the police, it's their obligation, I can go with them.
Or if they go with you.
Excuse me, but not to go by myself. And what's gonna happen here is how he gets more familiar with the job, is I've had guns pulled on me, I've had people tell me they were gonna shoot me if I came onto their property, and it's not a position that he should be in jeopardy like that.
Exactly.
It should be with the police department as assistants,
Yes.
okay? Not only that, but when the police are with you and you go there, people become a little more obliging, you know? So, it's just, we just have to work through it. He's new, Sandy's new, they're both doing wonderful jobs, and we just gotta get through some new paperwork. That paperwork has been in existence since the beginning of the code, it just got misplaced.
Perhaps each month, when you give your presentation to the town board, this should be part of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So many citations you gave out, so many, and again, nobody wants to call the DEC or the DEP on Chuck. Let's settle this in town,
Yes.
but maybe that should be part of the,
That's a great suggestion.
Presentation.
Transparency, how will help you build support to get things done.
thank you.
The most the planning board can do is just be plotters, you know? Just keep poking the,
Well, we did discuss, I forget how long ago, the a garage sale law, which
Yeah.
we sort of,
Well, we have a code that restricts retail business,
yeah,
and that's obviously a retail business.
but we had
Also,
something
he's-
that was specific
he's too
about
close
how
to
many
Route 28.
garage sales you could have.
he came before us, and we explained to him
Yes.
he needed a site plan and this and that, and he told us where to go, and
He
walked
told
us.
us, show me in the book where it says I can't do that.
Well, you know
Well,
something, as soon as he starts getting fines, he's gonna begin to understand. You know, if he gets away with it, everybody else looks at him and says, what the hell am I jumping through hoops for?
Exactly, exactly.
This is the reason why the site plan checklist is so important.
Yeah,
So if somebody comes up and starts a new gas station, how many vehicles you're gonna have there? Are they gonna be behind the fence? And we try to avoid the issue before it gets to this point.
Well, the code says an active repair station can have 12 cars, but they have to be fenced in. That's a junkyard, that's not a repair station.
Well, there's no question that screening is important.
Yes.
And, you know, just so you know, we have 4 appearance tickets coming up in the month of July. And one of them is for
Junkyard in Pine Hill.
Junkyard Pine Hill. Robert Evans,
Yeah, he's all the way, right?
Yep.
uh,
Oh,
Declan?
Can I just say something? about it?
Sure.
Because that's what John was referring to, the mattresses. And he also has pigs, because I almost hit one on the road.
I actually was the one who served him his ticket, and I went up onto the
Onto
other
the hill?
property, the one where the trailer is.
Yeah, I think he has sheep.
There was nothing up there but a pool, the door to the trailer was open, it was a little bit creepy, but he's been the one that's been he's shown up at court, so he's,
He has chickens up there. 'cause they're-
how we had to address him and have Gabby go over there because he was burning. And he didn't have a
Oh,
burning
yeah, we're
permit,
burning that house.
so. You know, again, like unless somebody's calling our office or sending me emails with the complaints, you know, I mean, we see what we see driving around the community, but, you know, I mean, it's
Yeah,
nice.
we shouldn't wait till people complain.
No.
Certain things driving down 28 are very obvious, okay? There's obvious cars for sale all over the place, 2 abandoned trucks that are rusted right on the person's front lawn. So these are obvious. I'm not talking about if someone is doing something in their backyard. And we shouldn't be waiting till people write us letters. We should see with our eyes. Oh, we see 2 trucks. They don't belong on the front lawn in a residential zone.
Mhm. Well, the point is, if someone makes a complaint, I have to investigate it. I mean, I don't have to drive too far in this town to see unregistered, unlicensed motor vehicles.
For
They're
sale.
all over the place.
Right. Tires all over,
Mhm.
a door that leads to nowhere.
Mhm.
She's another one, she will be in court July 11th, the door that leads to nowhere. She's
I
another one.
mean, these are so obvious that it shouldn't require somebody sending you a letter. I mean, we should start to go after people like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not trying to,
Well-
they have, you know, maybe they can't afford to
We
clean
have
up.
been doing that, we have been doing that. I don't know if anybody's aware of this, but there are 2 houses that were taken down. One was on 212 in Mount Tremper, and the other one was on Mount Pleasant Road in Mount Tremper. And they were both demolished because they were unsafe. And there was numerous phone calls from me that made that happen. And there's still more out there. There's houses all over this town that are ready to fall down. And we need housing in this town, and there should be some process that we could go through. I don't know what that is, but these houses that are inhabitable, and we have no land left to build houses. So it would be an important thing for this town to come up with a program. We can take over these old wrecks, knock them down, and put, you know, valuable land back on the market where people can build new houses.
Great.
But,
Great.
you know, we're committed, Sandy and I are committed to exactly what these people want us to do.
And now you have the credential.
And now I have the credentials, and now we have the process,
So let's try.
and now we have the support.
All we can. Can I make a suggestion? This board write a letter to the town board, telling them about this incident here, and telling them that you people support what's going on here, and you would appreciate the town board addressing this situation now.
No, I think they can watch this meeting and see that.
See that.
No, give them it in writing, so you have a paper trail.
Well, Marty appeared at the town board meeting a couple of weeks ago.
I'll try to write something.
This has got to come from you people, not from Marty.
Yeah.
Well, the town board's
And
passing the
also,
buck.
Yeah.
In the letter.
We passed the buck to you guys.
Pass the buck right to you and to Howie. But they told them at the board, Howie didn't answer to you people.
Yes.
Is that okay with you, Howie?
If you write a letter.
Yeah, and we'll put in it that when you go to issue the warrant, to subpoena
And you
the
have
court,
police with
that you have somebody with you.
Yeah.
I think
That's a very
it's
good
really,
Yeah,
I was told not to go to people because.
I was told that as well.
And I had been a fool gonna put it right to
But-
their face.
When Warren was here, I came up to his office one day and he had a stack of letters that were returned. Okay?
That's-
Oh, we get
They were
it.
certified, they were just stacked up on his desk.
Yep.
I said
All
to
of these
him,
issues, Perez
Go,
and
take
the
these,
yard sale, Evans,
right, take these
Declan,
letters,
they all have
get
history
it
of
to a
letters.
town policeman and go and hand
Handle.
deliver it
Yeah.
to these people.
Well, that's what the code says, that I, because we were trying to figure out, because I've served them, he served them, he could designate me to serve them, if how, I'm
Yeah, well,
considered
you
is.
shouldn't be the-
No, I mean, I went to Robert Evans and did it, but,
Okay.
try and help.
Maybe you should have a talk with
Motion.
the chief of police, so that, and tell him what the situation is, so that he can tell those people they have to go.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much. Good to see concerned citizens, thank you.
Where's the 10 city violation on 28?
I haven't been that way in a weekend ever.
I don't know what she's trying to come up with. Clearly trying to do all this. Doing it blindly. There was no instructions left for me. Did you give me the folder?
Here, we need this status, this status, this status.
Howie, I can talk to you about the
$50
and I know that John.
We're not cutting the grass until you own inches or whatever it was. And it wasn't a legal thing, it wasn't set registered now. It just said, you don't have to this by this.
We're gonna get it.
I mean,
I would love to. I'll ask him.
ask the lawyer, what is it, what maybe it requires the town board to pass a law?
I will ask him. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's no, we appreciate it.
In front of me.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day.
I'm not attacking this. I think our
They never have.
town does not want to go after people who disobey the law. It's the whole town.
No banking facilities.
I hope that helps them answer some of your
No bathroom facilities. And they usually got one of the because even though they're not proper, they still have to go by the law.
Yes, yeah.
I'm telling you, they will show. I didn't want to say that.
It's going to be about expansion. Yeah, building